Welcome back. I want to talk to you about nettles. I've done a few videos now on nettle tea, and somebody's asked me if I'll do one on harvesting, so I'm going to harvest some nettles. But one of the first things I want to say is you've got to choose wisely. There is a period of time that is the best period of time, and it is in the spring. The spring is the best period of time. Let me just show you this. But then after spring they start flowering. So we get these little flowers, and we don't want to pick any that are flowering. So you see all of these? Flowering. We don't want to know them. But if you've got a little patch where they are flowering, what you can do is cut them back. You'll get regrowth. So cut them down quite low. You'll get regrowth, you'll get new growth, and in that new growth they won't be flowering for a while, so you can harvest some. So there is a way around it. Let's see what we can find. Right, so we've got a path here, and this is good. And we've got nettles with flowers, but because we've had some really good rain, we've got these lower down ones. There's a couple of flowers on there, and these would be good to take some. So there's none on there, which is great, but that's at the perfect height for a dog to have a wee on. So let's walk past that one. Okay, I found these. So we've got a flowering one here, and we've got a flowering one there, but this one here isn't flowering. So there's no flowers on there. So we could take from that one and that one. So let's take a couple and show you how I do it. So I carry this around with me sometimes, and they're pretty good because they just fit in a back pocket, just about, if your jeans aren't too tight. And if I can carefully, what I want to do is hold the phone and the container. How am I going to do this? I want you to see the container. There you go. So let's go under this one. Let's cut a couple of these out the way. Let's go under this one. So I'm putting the container just underneath the leaf, and then cutting right at the end of the stem. Can you see that? Onto the leaf. One down, 58 to go. I can come up to this one. See, and this is relatively new. This is a relatively new plant. Let me just see if I can. How can I do this? There you go. So it's a relatively young plant, and I'm taking the top leaves, and they're falling into the container. And that's what we want. That's what I'm doing. And I've just got to walk some more to find some more good ones. But look, flowers, no good. We don't want those flowers. So if you cut back what you've got, if they're flowering, they'll generate some new branches, and you will start to get some new nettles coming up through. So I'll keep looking, and we've got to find them because they are here somewhere. It's just harder to find. Oh, there. No flowers. Top of those, no flowers. As I say, a bit harder to find. There's one there. A bit harder to find, but they're out there. Keep looking. The wind's blowing it so I can't get it to focus. I want to show you this. That is a spider has very carefully knitted these nettle leaves together. I think he's left an opening in the top for the fly to go in. And look at it, it's all covered in rain because we've just had a load of rain. But these little blue little flies keep flying around the top of there. He's obviously left something that they're attracted to. But once he goes in there, that's it. There's another sort of one. There's another sort of one there. But this one's fab. Sorry about the camera shake. Had to zoom in a bit. Beautifully made. Where he's pulled the leaves together. Anyhow, more nettles. I'm finding lots more of the flower. Look at these. So many flowers, no leaves. So the plant is obviously putting all the effort into the flowers now. And this is nice to see. Foxgloves are always great to see. Look at that. Anyhow, moving on. Right, I'm back in the garden, and what I want to show you is some of the nettles that I've taken the top off. Look at this one, for example. I've taken the top off. It's already flowering, but look down here, it's putting out new shoots further down. Look at that one. So where that new shoot is there, I'm just going to take off the upper branches there. So I'm going to take that off with the flowers there. So that can all come off, and I've left with that. So now there's no flowering going on below. I'm not going to compost that. I'm going to remove some of these big old leaves. So look at this. That's going. That's going. Big old leaves can go. Especially these dying ones down the bottom. Big old leaves can go. Now we've got a strong trunk, and we've got these lovely small leaves which I can then harvest. So that's what I'm going to do. I've got a couple more here I'm going to do it to as well. A couple in the background here, a couple over there. There isn't many nettles here, but I've got a few, and the idea is to use those as for my tea. So there you go, that's what I'm doing. Right, started raining, so I thought I'd head back. So I'm just going to give these a rinse off, and there's one of them, that one, I actually want to cut the top off because I think it might be starting to flower. So I'll let that one go. Right, so here they are. Mush them around a bit. Give them a rinse off. And then, well, I'll show you what to do next. Right, so then I've just tipped them out the colander, onto a tray and leave them to dry. So I'm going to put them in my little greenhouse. There's a couple of dead ends there that I'm not keen on the look of. So let's get rid of that. You can be a bit picky about some of these bits if you want. You're going to drink it. So just make sure everything looks alright. Right, dry them out for a few days. Well, this is the morning after, and what I'm going to do now is just, oh, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to put that in there. Right, that fits in there. These have been cut loosely with some scissors, and now it's time to chop them up a bit finer. They're not stinging anymore, which is great. And these were all cut yesterday and washed, as you've seen previously. So let's just tip that lot back into there. I want all those little bits, all the little bits out of there. Don't want to miss any out. Right, so we do that. Then what do we do? There's a base for it, so that sits there. Then this bit goes on there, that's it. And then this bit goes on there. Right, speed. Let's chop it right, let's keep it right down. Let's, right. Well, it looks like it's chopped some of it up. No, I don't think it has. I don't think it's chopped it as good as we'd think it would. Oh, it is. It's better. Don't want to leave any in there though. Right, that's what it looks like. It's chopped it up a bit finer. That needs to dry out more. So what we're after, so it looks that colour. After a couple of weeks it's that colour. And you can see the difference. And then it's ready to use. So 2 weeks of drying out. So let me show you what I do next. So take a container like that and tip it into there. Have the lid, but I'll show you what to do, what I do, and it's working really well. Right. So what I do is these lids are normally a little bit weird, they don't sit nicely. So I sit one end down, and at this end, look, you end up with a gap. And that means that any condensation or air can get in there. Now I'll sit that on a windowsill for 2 weeks. That'll dry out, and it'll give me a lot more than that. So, right, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching.